That's so cool. I got into comedy about 4 years ago. I went to the very first open mic night at Archives Coffee House, and I was sitting there as me, one of my friends, and then my girlfriend, and we had just started dating at the time. And this one person gets up and tells this joke that the entire premise of it was that she wanted robot Mark Zuckerberg to fuck her in the ass. Ooh. And I was sitting there right next to my girlfriend. We had just started dating. Hand in my head, like, oh my God, she's gonna think I'm into weird stuff. And like I am, but that wasn't the place for her to find out. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 4 years. I've been doing improv comedy for about a year and a half. How many of you have been to an improv comedy show before? Handful, very cool, very cool. They have them here monthly. Improv comedy is a lot like stand-up, just without the laughter and dignity. Stand-up's a lot more fun. I live in town. I have a house in town. I'm a homeowner. I live with my girlfriend. We've got 2 cats and a dog, our little puppy dog. She's about 1.5 years old. She is the love of my life. We put her into puppy daycare recently because we wanted her to pick up on good habits, and she learned a lot of great things like how to sit and how to shake and how to shit on my carpet. But it's like an endearing shit, you know? And you know, what I've quickly learned about being a dog dad is that it's a never-ending cycle of watching each other poop. Like, we go outside, I have to watch her poop. We're inside, she has to watch me. And we always give each other that courtesy look away, that... But we always have to look back, because what if the other runs? And you're laughing extra hard right now because you're imagining me, a 6'2" grown man, getting off the toilet and running away from my dog, pants still on the ground. It's just a single doorway in my bathroom, so I've got to hurdle the dog. Did that look like I practiced that? This morning, actually. I love dogs. Dogs are funny. One of my colleagues just got a new dog and brought it into the office, a little puppy dog. And we're sitting in his office talking, and the dog just drops a deuce right on the floor. And he gets up and he goes and he grabs this cleaning spray, comes back, and I'm leaving his office because I don't want to smell it. And he looks at me as I'm walking out, he goes, "This stuff kills AIDS, you know." I'm sorry, I don't know what's crazier. The fact that we have a spray that kills AIDS? Or that he's concerned that that's a legitimate issue with his puppy? Like, what sort of back alley breeder did he get his puppy dog from? And I'm sorry, we can kill AIDS? I didn't know we could do that. I always thought we could live with it, manage it, win a couple NBA championships with it. I didn't know we could kill it. That's modern miracle. We should be talking about that more. I live with my girlfriend, and we have got a really fun morning routine. She sets 4 alarms every morning. How many of you are multi-alarm folks? Perfect. This joke is for you. This is perfect. She sets 4 alarms, and I asked her the other day, I was like, "Hey, why 4 alarms?" She goes, "So I wake up on time." No. You wake up at alarm number 4. Alarm numbers 1 through 3 are background noise. And it's the same story every morning. Alarm number 1 goes off and she hits snooze. She acknowledges it like a passing acquaintance. Alarm number 2, snooze. Alarm number 3, snooze. Alarm number 4. She shoots out of bed like she's in a James Bond movie, like, "Oh my God, I need to get to work!" The other day, she had woken up at the 3rd alarm and she turned it off. And I'm like, wow, we're going to get up, we're going to get this day started. And then she set a 5th alarm. And then the 5th alarm goes off and it's the same thing. We both shoot up like, "Oh my God! Who would have thought organizing chaos would result in more chaos?" It's like if I were to put a bunch of mouse traps around this room and then I were to start doing karate moves like, and then got upset when, no, don't worry, I just started a little bit ago. Let's restart from the top, okay? Anyone see any good murals lately? You like that? That was good. That was good. And then I'd get mad that I'm setting off all these mouse traps. Back to the original plot. I've been trying to get into reading lately, and reading's just not doing it for me. So I've been trying to do audiobooks. Like while I'm driving, I'm listening to audiobooks. And someone recently told me about smut. Do all of you know what smut is? Okay, so there weren't enough cheers, so I have to explain it now. So you all in the back who didn't cheer, smut is like, they're these books that like you should probably hold with gloves, you know? Like it's just horrible, like sexy, kind of kinky stuff. And I can't read it. So I listen to it on audiobook. And like, how are they finding these voice actors for these smutty little audiobooks, you know? Like, I get a kick out of it. I just like listening, you know? Like, I want to hear the British man say moist 38 different times. I want to hear about how they're glistening. I wish I could glisten. It felt like I was glistening outside earlier today. And there's some crazy ones. There's this one about, like, Jasmine and Jafar. Like, they're taking Disney characters. I can't even watch Disney Plus anymore, man. Like, I just get horny. Like, it's bad. It's bad. And, like, it's gotten to the point, it's been happening a while now, where, like, I'm in the car and I'm listening, and, like, I'm not even, like, it doesn't even do it for me, you know? Like, I'm just emotionally invested in these characters now. I'm like, oh, maybe he should let her tie him up. Maybe that would be good for everyone. Maybe that would be good for everyone. I come from a family that likes to be together. So naturally I moved as far away as I possibly could from them. And come this past holiday season, right around Thanksgiving, my brother sent a text in our family group chat asking if they could host Christmas this year. And the thing about my family is every year my mom and dad host Christmas. So the second that my brother and his wife ask that question, the radar starts going off like, they did it. They made love. Like I knew a pregnancy announcement was on the way. So I text my brother on the side. I go, hey, are you pregnant? He goes, no, Matt, I'm not pregnant. Fair enough, brother, fair enough. So we fast forward to Thanksgiving now, and I'm with my brother, and I go, hey, are you pregnant? And my brother picks up his beer, downs it, throws the can on the ground, and goes, can't do that if I'm pregnant. Touche, brother, touche. So we fast forward to Christmas Day, and it's tradition in my family that my parents always open the first gift, right? So they go, they get the gift, my brother and his wife hand it to them, they open it up, and what do they get? But a baby onesie. Yeah, that was my reaction too. They're hugging, they're all crying. I've got my hands up, not because like my brother lied to me, but I know what the next present is. They just opened up the greatest gift you can get, human life. And my next gift were the candles that I got them. And so I had to make a split decision. Do I let them open these candles, or do I snatch those candles up, hop in my car, drive down the street of his suburb, find a 17-year-old 300-pound tackle that I can recreate The Blind Side with, bring him back to my brother's house, Merry Christmas, Mom and Dad, NFL first-round talent. I didn't do that. I let them open the candles, and this was my mom's reaction. She goes, oh, lavender. How nice. You can't compete with human life. I picked this up to take a drink out of it, and then I was going to set it down, so you all have to watch me drink. Yeah, thank you. Shout out to Purified Water from Members Marks. Hey, Matt, are they a sponsor? Sure. Never mind. The logo's facing the other way the rest of the show. I'm really excited to be an uncle. I've been thinking a lot about it. I actually bought this book, How to Be an Uncle. And it talks a lot about being the fun uncle, or the funkle is what they call it, right? And I want to be the funkle. I want to be the one that teaches this kid how to play sports and how to drive. But I've got a feeling I'm going to be the bad influence uncle, the bunkle. Like, I've got a feeling I'm going to be the one to teach this kid words that gets them kicked out of daycare. You know, like my brother's wife is going to pick up this kid from daycare and be like, where did you learn that? Like, well, Uncle Matt said it when he picked me up last week. Thanks, kid. Now I can't drive you to daycare. No, I'm going to be the bad influence uncle. I've already got their first birthday gift planned. I'm going to get them a drum set, a trumpet, and a book on the history of trains. Have fun with that for the next 20 years. We're going to go all out on those loud noises. I love little kids' books. Like, I love The Rainbow Fish. I love a lot of those little kids' books, but some of them are kind of weird. Like, have you ever actually listened to Little Bunny Foo-Foo? If you haven't, I'm going to read it for you. Okay, so this is Little Bunny Foo-Foo. Little Bunny Foo-Foo, hopping through the forest, scooping up the field mice and bopping them on the head. I like that you're doing the actions for this. Do you want to come up here and interpret this too? Yeah, come on up here. Come on up here. All right, for the crowd, what is your name?
My name is Patty.
Patty, and how long have you been a Little Bunny Foo-Foo enthusiast?
I've been a mother for about 21 years. So.
Congratulations. Round of applause for Patty, everybody. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. Yeah.
Perfect. And so this is being filmed from 2 different angles. And so we're going to, like, when this ends up on TikTok. Oh. Okay, you need to speak into the microphone so the audio gets you too.
Man, we're cool.
Fair enough. Are you ready? All right, here, come on up here. Everybody needs to see you. Yeah. All right, Patty, are you ready? Little Bunny Foo-Foo, hopping through the forest and scooping up the field mice and bopping them on the head. Down came the good fairy, and the good fairy said, Little Bunny Foo-Foo, I don't want to see you scooping up the field mice and bopping them on the head. I'm going to give you 3 chances. Then I'm going to turn you into a goon. And I'm trusting that was all accurate right there. You can have a seat. Round of applause for Patty, everybody. I've never had that happen before. I've been telling that joke for a while, and no one has ever just pantomimed Little Bunny Foo-Foo. That's awesome. I'm going to give you 3 chances, and then, poof, I'm going to turn you into a goon. What is a goon exactly in this scenario? Like, is there a list of previous forest offenders who have gotten gooned? Like, Little Bunny Foo-Foo, I'm going to give you 3 chances, and then poof, I'm going to turn you into a background character in an old-timey gangster film. Little Bunny Foo-Foo, if you don't behave, I'm going to perform transformative body horror on you. Isn't that crazy when you think about it? And like, could you imagine if we took those principles from Little Bunny Foo-Foo and applied them to real life, right? Like if the police were like, sir, you've had 1 murder. But if you murder 2 more people, then you're a goon. There's a new metric for crime. I have this really radical, when you start chanting my last name and a year number at the end of the show, that's part of the platform right there, is the redefinition of goon. I'm someone who's really into New Year's resolutions. Back 2 years ago, I started a New Year's resolution that I wanted to get a gym membership. It wasn't to go. And I did that in January. I got a gym membership. No, don't give me that yet. There's a lot of this joke left. Fast forward, I didn't use that gym membership. The next year, my New Year's resolution was to use my gym membership. And I did that. January 1st, I went to the gym. January 2nd, I went to the gym. January 3rd, I slip on ice outside of Ellie's Ivy, bash my kneecap in. It was the universe's way of saying, you've accomplished your New Year's resolution. You're being greedy. Save the gym for the rest of us. So my New Year's resolution this year was to get rid of my gym membership. And I haven't done that yet. I'd like to think I'm Choice Health and Fitness's top donor. I'm going to get my name on one of those walls right there. No, I've got a really good family. My dad really likes that I do stand-up comedy, and he tries to help me write jokes, and most of them are misses, but there's this one time when he wasn't even trying to help me write a joke. We were seeing Hairball. Everybody here seen Hairball before? Yep. This December at Alaris Center. There's a plug. So we were seeing Hairball, and my dad leans over to me, and he goes, "How come there aren't cover comedians?" I'm like, what a great idea, Dad. For $80, you could see John Mulaney. Or for $10, I'll stop taking my antidepressants and I'll tell his jokes. I think that's a great business model. I'm looking for the get-rich-slow scheme, and I think that's the one to do. I think that's the one to do right there. Yeah. I've got a pretty interesting medical history over the last few years. Between... Dad? Is that you? He wrote that joke. That's why I was wondering if, No, between 2017 and 2020, I had 5 surgeries, 446 doctor appointments on my lower back for a condition called pilonidal cyst disease. Has anybody heard of that before? Okay, the 6 people who've seen my stand-up before, they're going to spoil this joke. So pilonidal cyst disease, there's cysts that form right at the bottom of the tailbone, top of the butt crack, and they have to be surgically removed. It's a literal pain in the ass. And my doctors, they never knew why this was happening until I had my 3rd surgeon. And he walks in, and I need to visually describe him to you all. His name is Dr. P. He is about a 5'8" man, has 2008 Justin Bieber hair, holds his hands like a velociraptor, and he talks monotone like this. Again, his name is Dr. P. So Dr. P walks in, and he goes, "Matt, do you know why this keeps happening to you? Your butt crack is too deep." I blushed. He called me medically thick. That's the fastest I ever changed my Tinder bio. Thick with 2 C's. 6'2" if that matters. I want to tell you about my favorite appointment with Dr. P. It's the appointment I found out I needed my 4th surgery. So Dr. P walks into the office and he goes, "You know what to do." And that was code for me to get into doggy style. And so he comes and he puts his velociraptor talons on my bare butt. And he's silent for about 10 seconds. And that's a really long time when someone's staring at your butt. And the first words out of his mouth are 2 words you never want to hear a doctor say. He goes, "Uh-oh." And then he says something I've only ever heard with movies in Aliens. He goes, "I'm going to have to probe around a bit." And so here I am having to grapple with the fact that Velociraptor Justin Bieber is going to have to stick one of his talons up there. And that's not what he does. He goes to the side, he grabs this little stick, he comes back, he pokes me, I scream! And you know what Dr. P says to me? He goes, "Oh, you're too tender. We'll have to do this another time." 5 years, it was traumatizing, yeah. It was. 5 years, 446 doctor appointments. They wanted to do a 6th surgery right before the world shut down. And then the world shut down and my surgeon was like, "Hey, can you sit comfortably?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Call me when that changes." The surgery that they wanted to do, it's called flap reconstruction. It's a plastic surgery where they were going to literally raise my butt crack. They were trying to de-thick me. 5 years, 446 doctor appointments, and modern medicine's solution was that my cake had too many layers. Here's my third platform point friend in the front who's running my campaign, End De-Thicking. Say it with me, End De-Thicking, End De-Thicking. Okay, that's enough. That could be too much of a rally right here, and we're still trying to do a comedy show. So I've got problems down here. I've got problems up here too. I have high blood pressure, I found out. I went in the other day and my blood pressure was 160 over 110. Thank you. That was not my reaction. I went, oh! And my doctor goes, are you feeling okay? That's also something you never want to hear from a doctor's office. And so their solution is they put me on blood pressure meds and then they put a Zio patch on me. And for those of you who don't know what a Zio patch is, it's this little button that they put like square on your chest. You got to tap it anytime you feel funky. And you kind of look like Iron Man with it. And I was excited to be Iron Man if instead of, his superpowers being filthy rich and having arc reactor beams, my superpower was that I get winded when I go upstairs. They didn't find anything from it. I'm just messed up. Another little fun fact about me, and this is a true story. Back in 2014, I became a national award-winning rapper. Yeah. The national organization. Thank you. You've heard my Spotify? Good. We'll put the little funny foo-foo clip up on that too, and we'll put it to a beat. Any DJs in here? Let's just create a business model right here. No, so in 2014, the National Organization for Youth Safety, NOYS, held its first ever seatbelt save contest. And I imagine that they call it NOYS because, kids like noise and seatbelts, like it's a natural coming together, right? They held their first ever seatbelt save challenge, and my high school entered it, and I was the campaign manager. And we did a lot of things. We did like a mock car crash, we did a rollover simulator, but we had a meeting right before the end of the campaign. We were like, how can we stand out from the other schools? And keep in mind, there's like 2 schools entering this. It's like my school and a group from like Ohio. So the competition was fierce. And we're like, you know what? We've got an idea. Give me a day. I'll be back with a finished product. And I went home. I wrote, recorded, and filmed a music video to Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj's Bang Bang called Click Click. It's all about buckling up, and that's the sound a seatbelt makes, or a gun, and luckily NOYS assumed that it was about seatbelts and not drive-by shootings. And so a couple months pass, and I get called down to the school's office, and they're like, hey, we just got a call from NOYS, and you won. They're gonna fly you to DC. So I went, and I met Minnesota's 2 senators, Senator Amy Klobuchar, and at the time disgraced Senator Al Franken. And if you saw the picture, you could totally tell. You'd be like, this is before her failed presidential campaign, and this was before the touching. And meeting those senators, that was a wild experience. I met them one at a time, and when we were meeting Amy Klobuchar's, her office, I was sitting with her chief of staff, showing him the music video, and then Amy walks in and goes, this is a lot more fun than nuclear negotiations. That's not how you greet someone. And then we're in Al Franken's office, and we take pictures, and years later, I'm looking at his whiteboard in the background, and you can see the word nuclear circled a bunch of times. And it was at that moment I realized I was right in the middle of the Iran nuclear negotiations. And that makes me laugh because some poor Senate intern had to go interrupt senators from saving the world. And be like, excuse me, Senator Klobuchar, Senator Franken, yeah, I know you're trying to prevent nuclear war, but we've got a kid who wrote a song about seatbelts. And we have to, honor him. And that's why I trust government. I think that's the best thing that they can do, right? That was the start and the end of my rapping career. And I've joined the ranks of the greats, right? Of white rappers. Eminem, Jack Harlow, Jack from Jack and Jack. And if you don't know them, they were really big on Vine at one point, so it counts. And then me, Matthew Ternus. And to this day, I've got something over all of them. I'm the only white rapper that's been endorsed by Amy Klobuchar. And I don't know if that's street cred necessarily, but it counts, right? I have a degree in political science, which makes me a lot of fun at family gatherings. And thanks. I don't really know what that was, but I got into political science because I like presidential politics. I think presidential politics is a lot of fun. I like analyzing how presidents respond to different situations, and the best case study has been the COVID pandemic as of late, right? Because our two presidents who were president during COVID were boring. Like, we had one president who was like, they looked at my blood and they didn't find mRNA, they found USA. And then Joe Biden got COVID from sniffing kids. But could you imagine Barack Obama as president during COVID? Like, that would have been crazy. He would have been up at the podium like, now, I believe that we as a people need to watch out for one another. Like, he would have made it sound so sexy. And then Key and Peele as anger translators would have been behind him. Wear your damn mask! Could you imagine George Bush during COVID? George Bush, the man who has a term named after him, Bushisms, for the wonky things he said. The same president who graduated from Harvard and said, I do believe that people and the fish can coexist equally. Right on, George. Ally to the fish. Right? He would have said some wonky stuff. He would have been at that podium. He would have been like, this virus, it's constantly evolving. It's coming up with new ways to kill and hurt our people. And so are we. The YouTube montages would have been electric. That's all I'm trying to say on that one. Did anybody watch the debate between Biden and Trump? My favorite part about asking that question is, like, everybody's so slow to admit it, like it's this dirty secret we all have. Like, yeah, I did watch that. I wish I didn't. That was a special debate. Because, like, one candidate, Joe Biden, was up there fighting for his life. He was like, and that's a direct quote from Joe Biden at the debate. And then you had Trump on the other hand, who's like, if Horton hears a who, imagine what he'd do to you. And believe me, I know Horton. Tim, he makes great donuts. Very different from debate number 2 with Harris, right? Where we had this beautiful moment. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the goats, frankly, Tom Brady. They've already got them. I told that joke at Lake of the Woods last week, and they got mad at me for insinuating we'd eat Tom Brady. Respect our goat! I love football. I love football. That's a transition. There's no good transition from that. Did anybody watch the Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the Eagles? Yeah, that was a boring Super Bowl. You know what was more fun than watching the Super Bowl? Watching the city of Philadelphia burn itself to the ground afterwards. You're applauding back there. You remember 2017 when they beat us? Yeah, presented our Super Bowl, home Super Bowl. No, that was way more fun because, like, Philadelphia fans don't know how to celebrate. Like, they were climbing up garbage trucks. They were tearing down light posts. They were setting Kermit the Frog on fire. That's not how I'd celebrate. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. Any Vikings fans in here? Right on. Like, I don't think we'd celebrate that if we won a Super Bowl, right? I don't think we'd be climbing garbage trucks. Like, if anything, we'd be going down, we'd be grabbing our garbage bins and wheeling it back up to our garage. Because we have to live with those sanitation workers. We don't want them mad at us. I would have a heart attack if I did that. That's true. There's a chance I have one right now. And someone here. Are any nurses in the house? Oh, God, we're in trouble here. Thank you. That makes me feel safe. That was ominous and threatening. For those of you who didn't hear, Little Bunny Foo-Foo person threatened to murder me just a short moment ago. You are not safe on this stage. Either that or you're helping me out. Someone in the back with a weapon? No? Okay. There's a prohibited items list on EmpireArtCenter.com. No, I think if Minnesota won a Super Bowl, or if Vikings fans won a Super Bowl, there'd be a statewide moment of stunned silence. Like, we'd be watching the TV like, did Did we just win? Is this real life? Jerry! Jerry, is this real? I don't know, man. I don't like it. Minnesota Vikings fans would still somehow find a way to blame Kirk Cousins for winning the Super Bowl. For those of you who don't know who Kirk Cousins is the most average quarterback in NFL history. He was never the best. He was never the worst. He was just aggressively okay. And for his okayness, the Minnesota Vikings paid him $231 million over 6 seasons. His tenure with the Vikings was a lot like if I, in my job as a social media manager, made a post that got 20 likes, and my job paid me $231 million over 6 seasons. He has $231 million and he still shops at Kohl's to get Kohl's Cash. That's crazy. He's most known for a moment in 2015, a walk-off win in Washington, where he walks by the reporters and he goes, "You like that? You like that?" And we liked that. We liked that so much, we paid him $231 million over 6 seasons. I'm really excited for the Olympics when they're in the States in 2028, because we're adding flag football. And we are going to crush other nations in flag football. It's not even going to be fair. Can you imagine Justin Jefferson lining up against an accountant from Lithuania? No chance. Who do we have at quarterback? Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback? Joe Burrow, the sexiest quarterback? No. I want the Kohl's Cash man with a plan. I want Kirk Cousins as my Captain America. I can see it now. He trots out there in his Kohl's Cash clothes looking like he just crushed a sundae at Applebee's. He lines up under center, game 1 against Afghanistan. He hikes the ball, drops back, he fires! And he overthrows Afghanistan. He'd drop bombs on them metaphorically. We already do it figuratively. Oh, that's where we draw the line? That's where we draw the line? All the shit that's been said tonight, and we're dropping the line at Kirk Cousins overthrowing the football? He made $231 million doing that, okay? You're not my campaign manager anymore. So I'm looking for a new campaign manager. I'm a big sports fan, and earlier this winter, I'm a big UND hockey fan, and one fan in the house, 2 fans in the house. So myself and a friend, we were sitting at the Oregon bar, and he sees this girl that he wants to go talk to, and he's like, "Hey, will you wingman me?" I'm like, "Absolutely." And so like any good wingman, I sat and watched the rest of the hockey game. And afterwards, we go out with this girl and her friends, and we're all sitting around the table, and we're talking about what we studied when we were in college, and I mentioned that I have a degree in political science, and she goes, "Oh, well, we probably shouldn't talk then." Now, when someone says that, one of 2 things has happened. Either 1, they don't have a friend group that can healthily talk about politics, or 2, they have an opinion that they've shared before, and it didn't go over very well. So we continue the night, and we're talking like most 26-year-olds would do. We were talking about personal finance. And we're talking about which credit cards we have, and this girl goes, "All I know is I would never use Discover Card." And everybody starts pressing her like, "Hey, why won't you use Discover Card?" She's like, "Well, I can't say." And that's when I knew this was the opinion she had shared before. And it didn't go over very well. And so I started asking her, like, "Hey, like I'm thinking of getting a new credit card. I'm leaning towards Discover. You have the opportunity to persuade me otherwise." And she's silent. She looks down. She looks back up. And this is a direct quote. She says, "Discover Card supports more black people than white people." So I'm a proud Discover Card owner now. You can't deny 5% cash back. So I've got a joke later in the set, but it requires a Coors Light. Would you go buy me a Coors Light really quick? So you can buy yourself a drink. That's fair. Little Bunny Foo-Foo. I need a Coors Light. You can buy yourself one. Tip 20% because we're civilized, okay? Thank you. Please get me a receipt. I gotta make sure. And I get the text messages anytime someone spends over 1 cent, so I'm gonna know. I can do the math on how many beers are getting purchased there. This is very trusting of our audience here. Someone who pantomimed Little Bunny Foo-Foo. I love sports. I love the Olympics. Does anybody have a favorite Olympic sport? Ice hockey, gymnastics. Hey, how many gymnastics fans? 6, great. Good. So, my favorite Olympic sport is surfing. You're a fucking liar. My favorite Olympic sport is surfing because it's the most random of the sports. They send these surfers out into the open water, and some surfers, they get 30 minutes to ride these waves, and some of them get huge 10-feet waves, and other surfers get puddles with commitment issues. And I think that's crazy. Like, why wouldn't they take Olympic surfing and go put that in a much more controlled, simulated environment? Like, why wouldn't you go to some place with a world-class facility that everyone is going to get the same experience, the same chance to shred? So I think they should move Olympic surfing to the Wisconsin Dells. They get 10 minutes in Poseidon's Wrath. That's roughly 9.5 waves to shred. And you know the saying, right? If you can't shred waves in Wisconsin, you don't deserve an Olympic gold medal. I think that would benefit the sport. Has anybody heard of hobby horsing? Yeah, that's a sport now, allegedly. I love it. For those of you who don't know what hobby horsing is, it's where people get that stick with the horse head that you give your 6-year-old, and they go and gallop around. Do you have my Coors Light? Yes. Wow, thank you. This receipt that says I bought 1 beer? That's awesome. That's 6. Oh, beer for Matt. $1 billion. Inflation is... I got a good interest rate. I worked for a nonprofit for 4 years. We were really good at being a nonprofit. I have no money. That's why I'm doing comedy right now, to make $6. So hobby horsing is where people gallop around with this stick with the horse head on it, and they try to do the same stunts that a horse would do, right? Like they're bobbing and weaving. They're trying to jump. Did that look too natural? Yeah, you can see me at Hobby Horsing Worlds at the Grand Casino Arena, formerly the XL Energy Center, this August. But the existence of hobby horsing has me really excited because it implies the existence of other hobby animals. Like hobby kangarooing, where you stick a pool noodle up the back of your shirt and you just jump and fucking kick people. You just square up against dogs on the side of the road. I could get behind that. Hobby goating, where you just run head first into another person's head. Hobby raccooning, where I hide in my girlfriend's garage and scream when she turns on the light. I'm all for that. So, we're going to get to the joke with the beer now. I'm a big fan of this app called Untapped. Has anybody used Untapped? Yeah. So Untapped is this social media app where you go to bars and breweries and you rate their fun beers. And I use it exclusively to rate Coors Lights. Because I think that's important, that people know where a good, trusty Coors Light is. And I'd like to read you some of my local reviews of Coors Lights. Rhombus Guys Brewing, 5 stars. My comment, oh my God. Joe Black's, 5 stars. I needed this. Bonzer's Sandwich Pub, 5 stars. So with you all tonight, I would like to do a live taproom Coors Light review. Can we do that? So if you have a drink, let's all cheers right now. Cheers to Coors Light. You gotta listen to it. You gotta hear it. You gotta let it cool the back of your neck. Five stars. That was fucking phenomenal. Yeah. Round of applause for Tap Room in the back. I can see their bartender back there. You have a great canned Coors Light. Shout out to Hugo's Family Marketplace for probably supplying that one. I graduated from the University of North Dakota, and when I was in college, I used to be a big drinker. And I don't do that much now because I would have some wild times. You know how like people Irish goodbye? I would do that too. I would Irish disappear and run away to the eternal flame on campus. We all know the eternal flame, the flame that allegedly never goes out, but is always out when you walk by it. I would just run away there, like a drunk monk on a vision quest. Like my friends would be like, "Where's Matt going?" And I'd be muttering to myself, "The fire knows." So I don't do that anymore because a couple of negative 60-degree nights ruined my experience. My friends they'd look on Snap Maps to see if I'm okay. They're like, "Anybody seen Matt? Let's check. Oh, he's over at the Flame." They'd come drive by, they'd just see me sitting there. They're like, "I think he's okay, but maybe his heart attack happened." Did anybody check? Did he have his blood pressure meds today? Did he take his lisinopril? His metoprolol? His nifedipine? You can't mix that with alcohol. You can't. And that's why I was going to the Flame to seek guidance on that. I've got one more story for y'all. I was recently catching up with one of my college friends, and he was in a cast. And we're sitting down, and I was talking to him like, "Hey, like, what happened to you?" He's like, "Oh, I broke my arm ziplining." And now here's the thing about that. That's a red flag to me, because unless you are a professional zipliner or an 8-year-old at summer camp, you shouldn't be casually ziplining. And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, "Well, I was setting up a zip line for my kid, and I took the swing from the swing set and set up here, and then a stick. And I was going to just try to slide down, and I fell and completely broke my arm." He's like, "I wasn't expecting it, because $3,695 later, I'm in an ambulance to Altru. And who do I see but your Dr. P, who walks in with his 2008 Justin Bieber hair and his Velociraptor talons and says, 'Uh-oh, I'm going to have to probe around a bit.'" Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Matthew Ternus. Thank you all so much. Have a great night.